So once we have the part oriented, we are now ready to set up the part for machining. So this would involve defining the number of axes. So we would go into the machine tool setup and we would set the machine type number of axes to 3 axes. And then you can make the selection for your post processor in here. So I'm just going to pick a standard FANUC post, set the output file extension. And in the next step, we would like to define the stock material. So as you can see, we are working our way from left to right as we're working through this group in here. So stock, we could define the stock as a box stock. So when you define the stock as a box stock, the system will automatically identify the minimum stock that's required based on all of the visible geometries that you have imported or modeled. So the length is 8 inches, the width is 7 inches, and the height is measured as 1.94. So I would like to start with a stock that would be 2¼ inch thick. So I'm going to define the stock height to 2¼ click OK to accept it, and I can display the stock visibility. And now you'll notice that the stock is visible on top of the part, and you can view it from different views. The front view, you'll notice that it shows there is stock being left above the part, and if you take a look at it from the top view, the XY extents of the stock and the part are exactly the same. It's 8 by 7, so it's flushed with the extents of the part geometry. If you need the stock to be larger in X and Y, you can define those parameters in the box stock, where you can change the length, width of the stock in addition to the height. Now, once we've established the stock, we could choose align the stock to the part. So I'm going to pick align. And in this particular part that we're going to be working on, the core of the mold, since the bottom of the part is flat planar and on the top of the part you have sculpted surfaces, I would like to flush the bottom of the stock to be flushed with the bottom of the part, so we have enough material being left on the top of the part so we can remove the material from the top. Now you could also align it to the center in the Z if it requires machining from multiple sides. So in this particular example, we would just want to have it flushed with the bottom. So the bottom of the stock is flushed in line with the bottom of the part. And for the XY, I'm going to leave it as center for the XY alignment. So it's center on the part in X and Y as you view it from the top of the perspective view. Now, once you've aligned the stock to the part, in the next step, you can choose the material that you're going to be milling out of from the material list. So I could choose aluminum 6061. You could pick a different material type from the list, and this list can also be customized. Selecting material texture visibility applies the texture of the material to your stock. And you can toggle the visibility of the texture by selecting material texture. Now the next step we're going to do here is establish the XYZ origin for machining, which could be your work 0 or called the program 0. This could be done in several different ways. Now, one of the ways I would like to do here in today's demonstration is use work 0. So selecting work 0 allows you to specify the location of your work coordinate origin or the program origin. And I can set this to the stock material. I'll pick the 0 face to be the highest Z, which is the top face of the stock. And for the 0 position, I'll choose southwest corner. So we are establishing the XYZ origin at the top of the stock and the southwest corner. So selecting generate places the XYZ origin right at the top of the material. So when you place the workpiece on your machine tool and establish your 000, your touch off point would be the top of your stock material and the southwest corner. So you'll notice in this particular example, the XYZ origin for machining is set to the top of the stock material. Your world coordinate origin still remains for the part design at the bottom. Now, if you prefer to maintain the same origin for both the CAD world origin and the machining origin, instead of using the work 0, you could use align set world coordinate system, and you can move the stock and the part to the same location as we discussed in one of our earlier webinars. You could use set to stock, you could do higher Z southwest. This will transform the part and the stock to the same origin location. So we've defined the part, we've established the orientation, we've also created our stock and established the work 0 for machining.